Throughout the offseason, you see a lot of people raving about a lot of different young cores, which they have a reason to. I mean, the Houston Rockets seem like one of the more fun teams in the NBA. The Oklahoma City Thunder just look like I don't know where they want to end up, and it's just gonna be fun to watch that journey. The Orlando Magic have a slur of talent that if they're able to work together, they could be one of the best defensive and offensive teams in the entire NBA. But there's one core that I think really is not getting the love that it deserves, and that's the Indiana Pacers. Because after being trapped in what is no man's land basically for a couple of years with both Miles Turner, Malcolm Brogdon, and Domantas Sabonis leading the helm of this team, they finally decided to do what a lot of teams I think should do, Portland. So today we're going to talk about one of the best young cores in the league and the guy leading the helm of that young core being Tyrese Haliburton, and why I think not only he's having a breakout season next year, but overall this team may look a lot better than people expect them to next year. Let's talk about it. But before we get started, hi, I'm Afabi. I make basketball content here on YouTube, and from my numbers, it seems like I've been getting a lot of views lately, and a lot of you subscribed, but it also says about 95% of the people that do watch my content aren't subscribed. So change that number a little bit. I know a lot of you guys come back to the channel, and if you do enjoy the content, just please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you back here. Entering the 2022 season, the Indiana Pacers had a lot of questions surrounding this team. Where is their actual identity and where they're going with this entire roster? Because right now, Miles Turner has let it be known that he is very unhappy with the role that he had on the team. Domantas Sabonis has made it be known that he's unhappy with the direction this team's going in. Malcolm Brogdon was injury riddled throughout majority of the year. Overall, this team just didn't have a lot of things to be happy about, other than their rookie in Chris Duarte that showed up and showed that he can be a pretty decent NBA player or give you some decent production at 13 points per game, 4.1 rebounds, 2.0 assists on 37% from 3 in just his rookie season. And even though he's already 24 years old and a lot of people really just had trouble picking him because of that age, he's shown that that really is not a caveat to his game at all. He's really just that good. But throughout half the year, the Indiana Pacers decided to blow up this entire team, finally deciding they make a decision on whether that they're going full force into contending with this roster, which they couldn't, or go back into rebuilding because you're just going to be stuck in no man's land without any true piece to build around. And decided to make that call and traded Domantas Sabonis for Tyrese Haliburton. And while it's not the only move they made to bolster their future, it's the best move that they made, because right now, gaining this guard in Tyrese Haliburton has put this team at another level. While some people may say at the time he wasn't as good as Domantas Sabonis as a player, overall the way he fit with this team and his overall upside, just being a second-year player, is definitely far bigger than Domantas Sabonis, because the moment he came over this team, he averaged 17.5 points, 9.6 rebounds, 9.6 assists, 4.3 rebounds, 1.8 steals, on 50% shooting and 42% from 3. Some elite efficiency numbers, a great passer, limited his turnovers, and is a great scorer. Now, while he does have some trouble with being aggressive, sometimes there's certain games where he looks like he's literally the best player on the court and is aggressive at any single facet of the game, and there's other times where he looks like he's taking a back seat to somebody and just letting his teammates handle the flow of the offense sometimes and not really trying to push as a scorer. And I think that's where his point guard instincts kind of conflict with him just being the number one guy in this team. But I think giving him some time, he'll definitely figure out the balance between those options. But as a 22-year-old guard in the 12th pick in the last draft, being given the keys to be the primary ball handler again on a team without De'Aaron Fox, because the Sacramento Kings numbers, both of them on the court, was horrible, being in that position again for a team really put Tyrese Haliburton in the best possible place for success. At the point guard position, Tyrese Haliburton has some elite size and length at 6'5" with a pretty nice wingspan. While he doesn't have a lot of weight on him, he has some above average athleticism, and he's able to move his feet really well on both the offensive and defensive end. He has an amazing IQ and can see the floor in ways that a lot of other guards can't. He does a very good job of pushing the pace, getting out in the fast break, hitting his teammates in wings while they're in transition, but also does a good job in the pick and roll in understanding advanced reads when passing to teammates for open threes, or just lobs to the bigs, or understanding when he has a lane to the rim. He has a very nice floater within the lane, has a nice touch. He's one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA with multiple ways to get it off. The man just has every tool in this game to be an elite guard in the NBA with almost every single guard skill, while having some skills of a wing that completely makes him the perfect combination of elite scoring, efficient and elite scoring ability, but also elite playmaking ability and above average defense. It's honestly one of the most perfect jack of all trade guards you can have in the NBA. Now, what does that say about his superstar potential? Some may not know, because some players certainly just don't hit that next gear that pushes them to that superstar level, but I don't think that's to be a problem for Tyrese Haliburton, considering how hard he works on his game and just how much of a good feel he has, and still being able to see the ways he can improve already while still being this young and giving you this type of potential and this production already. Going into next year, I fully expect his name to be in all-star conversations, and while the Indiana Pacers may not make the playoffs, I fully expect them to have their names at least close to the play-in tournament, because he's definitely that good. But they also have some other pieces on this team that are not only just as good or have as much potential as Tyrese Haliburton, but some people just don't know about them. Being overshadowed by the Tyrese Haliburton trade, the Indiana Pacers made a move at the trade deadline that I think a lot of people just didn't pay attention to, because I think this guy lost a little bit of reputation for not being able to gain any minutes or just play significant time while he was in Phoenix. But Jaylen Smith, the moment he got to the Indiana Pacers, showed why he was a 10th pick in the 2020 NBA draft. And being on the Indiana Pacers with DeAndre Ayton there and them trying to play small with somebody like Dirk Crowder in the starting lineup, somebody like Jaylen Smith really didn't get a lot of minutes there, considering that he still needed time to develop. And the Phoenix Suns were in the position to win basketball games and win a championship, not develop young talent anymore. And with that being said, him being the 10th pick and not being able to get substantial time on the court, they simply traded him away for Torrey Craig. And the moment he got to Indy, the man showed exactly why he's probably one of the better young bigs in the NBA, averaging 13.4 points per game, 7.6 rebounds, a block a game on 53% shooting, and then 38% from 3 on 4 attempts per game. Jaylen Smith showed a wide range of ability to score in many different ways, showed that he's a pretty adept defender, even though at his height and size. The man is just a great overall player, and he can develop into something insanely great for this Indiana Pacers team. I think I'll go into a little bit more in depth when I make a full video on the Indiana Pacers, but overall this one's surrounding Tyrese Haliburton. Just overall, look out for Jaylen Smith, as he's one of the better young bigs in the league. But overall, this Indiana Pacers team has an exciting future in my eyes, between picking Benedict Mathurin, who is a wing that they could definitely need on this team as a way to fill out really some of the roles that they just don't have anymore, having an elite playmaker and a guard with as much upside as Tyrese Haliburton, having somebody with as much upside as Jaylen Smith, having a pretty already really good 3-and-D guy, and somebody that can definitely expand his game in Chris Duarte. This team fills so many roles already needed for what is already a good team in the NBA, and I think they just need the experience and the veterans to truly help them get to a point where they're very competitive. Now, I expect this team to maybe fight for a play-in spot. I don't think I expect them in the playoffs at all, and I don't think these are the moves that are truly going to make them in a couple years compete with teams like Orlando, Houston, or OKC. I do think they probably do need another piece on their roster to be that number one option, because I don't know if Tyrese can be that number one option on the championship roster, but this is just a great way to start out their rebuilding process. And overall, Tyrese just looked like he's about to be one of the best guards in the NBA. So just let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. With that being said, it's FLB. That's my time, and I'm out.